What is going on, guys? Thanks for checking out this video, my sports Gematria. In this video, I'm going to go over some NBA games for Monday, March 7th, 2022. I'm going to show you highlights of each side, and it's going to be up to you to determine who you think will win based on the numbers. I encourage you to add additional information on top of this if needed for you to feel confident in your own pick. And I wish you guys the best of luck on all your picks today. Let's go ahead and get into the games. Get my screen up here. So by request, basically all the games were requested for NBA today, but I wasn't going to do all 8 games. But a handful of people requested HawksPistons, Bulls Sixers, got a request for Blazers Timberwolves, Jazz Mavericks, and I went ahead and just did the Lakers and the Spurs. I had all 3 of these requested too as well: Lakers, Spurs, Warriors, Nuggets, Knicks, and Kings, but I don't have time to do all 8. And do a video on it and write it all up and everything else. So I just went ahead and did the Lakers and Spurs one. Since between the 3, this one has the lowest odds for the game. So that's how I decided on that one. But those are the 5 games I'm going to be looking at. On this side of the screen is what I call my daily numbers, date numerology, Gregorian Hebrew calendar. On this side of the screen is what I call my game numbers specific to the game. The way that it's structured here is up top is the road team, their season record, their away record, their coach's record, any other notes I want to add. In the middle is the head-to-head record between the 2 teams, all-time, regular season, and for this season in particular. And then at the bottom is the home team, their season record, their home record, their coach's record, and any other notes that I want to add. Let's go ahead and not waste any time here. Jump right into it. We're going to do the Hawks and the Pistons to start it off. Now, I just put these games together before clicking the record button. I tried to go through some of them, but we might have to go through some of them in this video. But Hawks and Pistons. So let's start with the home team, the Pistons. If Pistons were going to win this game, today is the 4th day of the 7th month on the Hebrew civil calendar, like 47. Pistons can sit on 47 losses for the season with a win. Hawks would sit on 31 wins for the season with a loss, as Pistons even the score 1-1 head-to-head against for the season like an 11, 31 the 11th prime number, and Pistons would get their 11th home win to go with. Today does have a 16 date numerology on the Gregorian. Hawks could get their 33rd loss for the season. If you write out the number 16, 16 sums to 33. What else? 224, 214. Today has 52 date numerology on the Gregorian. 52, if you write it out, sums to 124. And Pistons can get their 241st all-time head-to-head win against the Hawks. 241, 124. They're just anagrams of each other. And if Pistons do get their 241st regular season head-to-head win against the Hawks, 241 is the 53rd prime number. 53 is the 16th prime number. Today was 16 date numerology on the Gregorian. Also, though, 53 written out sums to 122. And Pistons would get that 241. Hawks would get the 33rd loss. 16 sums to 33. But Hawks would also become 12-20 on the road with the loss, which kind of looks like a 122. And 53 written out sums to 122. So I imagine those would be the numbers, or some numbers, for Pistons if they were going to win this game. If the Hawks are going to win this game, kind of similar to the 241, Hawks could pick up their 214th regular season head-to-head win against the Pistons with the win. Today with 52 date numerology, 52 sums to 124. 124, 214 are just anagrams of each other. Pistons would sit on 223 regular season head-to-head wins against the Hawks with the loss. 223 is the 48th prime number. Pistons would get their 48th loss for the season to go with. Today has 32 date numerology on the Gregorian. This is the Pistons' 32nd home game. This is the Hawks' 32nd road game. Hawks can become 32-32 for a season record with the win. It could just be that simple. And I think that is all I have. Hawks coach was in on 43 regular season losses with a win. 52 date numerology, 52 sums to 43. I know 631 is the 112th prime number. 631. Oh, actually, it's 115th prime number. Oops. Anything else to support that? 115 on the board or a 58 anywhere? Guess not. All right. Well, that's what I have for this game. Not a whole lot. It's just a few tidbits here and there. Let's move on to the Bulls and the Sixers. As you can see, I don't have a whole lot marked here either. Like I said, I just put these games together before hitting the record button. Bulls and the Sixers. So let's start with the home team, the Sixers. If the Sixers were going to win this game against the Bulls, we could look at date numerology of 32. This will be the 32nd home game for the Sixers, and they can pick up their 131st regular season head-to-head win against the Bulls. 131 is the 32nd prime number. Today has a 16 date numerology on the Gregorian. Bulls can get their 16th road loss as well, but to be fair, they can get their 16th road win too, so it goes either way. Today is the 4th day of the 7th month for the Hebrew Civil, like 47. Sixers coach can sit on 47 losses regular season for his career with a win. This being his 136th game as a coach regular season. 136, the 16th triangular number. Today was 16 date numerology. For the Bulls, their coach, this is his 137th regular season game as a coach for the Bulls. And Sixers can get their 137th all-time head-to-head win against the Bulls to go with. Sixers can get their 40th win for the season as they sit on 24 losses for the season as they sweep the Bulls 4-0, like 40 head-to-head against for the season. And if you actually write out the number 40, if you spell it correctly, write out the number 40, 40 sums to 24. So Sixers could become 40-24 as they sweep the Bulls 4-0, like 40. And then Bulls would get that 16th loss on the road. Sixers would get that 131 head-to-head, the 32nd prime number, and that 32nd home game on a day with 32 date numerology. Bulls, this is their 65th game for the season, and their coach can sit on 313 wins regular season for his career with a loss. 313 mathematically is the 65th prime number, so it can keep them there for that game. And those would be the numbers for the Sixers to win this game. If the Bulls were going to win this game, like I mentioned, the 16 number goes either way. And this is the Bulls' 31st road game. And Sixers can fall 3-1 head-to-head against the Bulls for the season, like 31 with a Bulls win. Excuse me. And in regards to it being their 32nd home game with 32 date numerology, Sixers coach, he can easily just sit on 1,031 wins regular season for his career, which has that same kind of look as a 131. 131, the 32nd prime number. Either one of these two teams is going to get their 40th win for the season, so any connection you make for 40 could go either way. The only, I guess, lean would be the Sixers becoming 4-0 against the Bulls, but we're not talking about the Bulls, or we're not talking about the Sixers, we're talking about the Bulls to win right now. So really the 31st road game, Sixers can fall 3-1, like 31. Today is the 66th day of the Gregorian year. Bulls coach can sit on 66 losses regular season for his career with a win as a coach for the Bulls. What else? Today is the 4th day of the 13th month on the Hebrew religious side of the calendar. Bulls coach can get his 314th win regular season for his career. 314, 413 are just anagrams of each other. What else? Bulls can sit on 136 regular season, or excuse me, 136 all-time head-to-head losses against the Sixers with a win. 136 is the 16th triangular number. Today was 16 date numerology on the Gregorian. This being the Sixers coach's 136th game as a coach for Sixers. Got to watch out for that connection, though, because Bulls coach, it's his 137th game. Sixers, it's their 136th game. It could pop from 136 to 137 all time. But if it doesn't, Sixers could sit on that 136 with a loss, the 16th triangular number on a day with 16 at date numerology. And I think that's about it for right now. If Sixers do lose, the coach can go from 47 to 48 regular season losses as a coach for Sixers. It is the 4th day of the 7th month on the Hebrew Civil, like 47. But the number 48, surprisingly enough, 48 also sums to 47. So he can actually pop from 47 to 48, and it would still be in play as far as the numerical connections go. All right, let's keep it moving. Blazers versus Timberwolves. So we'll start with the home team, the Timberwolves. If the Timberwolves are going to win this game, they can simply just get their 37th win for the season on March 7th, written 3/7. It doesn't need to be any more difficult than that. Outside of that, Timberwolves can get their 40th regular season head-to-head win against the Blazers as they sweep the Blazers 4-0, like 40 head-to-head against for the season. Timberwolves are on a 4-game winning streak. Blazers are on a 4-game losing streak. It could be a 5-5 thing, like 55. I'm not sure where the 55 connection will come in at. Let's see, 55. 5. I guess you could say the 66. The number 5 sums to 66. It is the 66th day of the Gregorian year. Blazers can get their 5th loss in a row. Timberwolves can get their 5th win in a row. This is Timberwolves' 66th game of the season, so maybe that's a little bit more for them. So 66th day of the Gregorian, the March 7th, written 3/7, and Timberwolves' 66th game, they can get their 37th win as they get their 5th win in a row. 5 sums to 66. Also, 37 is the 12th prime number, and Timberwolves can sit on 12 home losses with a win as they get that 37. And I think that's about all she wrote. 16 date numerology on the Gregorian. The coach for Timberwolves can get his 53rd win regular season, the 16th prime number. But it is a day with 52 date numerology, and the Timberwolves coach could sit on 52 wins with a loss. This is Timberwolves' 30th road game. Timberwolves can get their 30th loss for the season. Blazers can get their 91st all-time head-to-head win against the Timberwolves, the 13th triangular number, as Timberwolves get their 13th home loss. You can mark that in a light blue just to connect them. Also, Blazers would become 1-3 head-to-head against Timberwolves with a win, like 13. So 1-3, like 13, right here. Timberwolves can get their 13th home loss, as Blazers get that 91st all-time head-to-head win against the Timberwolves. 91, the 13th prime or 13th triangular number. Also, this is the 127th regular season head-to-head matchup between these two teams. 127 is the 31st prime number. That could read for Timberwolves to fall 3-1 head-to-head against the Blazers for the season, like 31. I didn't really see anything for Blazers picking up that 26th win. Nothing stuck out at me for that one. But it is the 4th day of the current Hebrew month. It could be why Blazers in their 4-game losing streak. It could be why Timberwolves in their 4-game winning streak, because it's the 4th day of the current Hebrew month. That could be a possibility. And I think that's all I have for this game for right now. Let's keep it moving. Oh, did I not switch the ticker when I did that? Jazz, Mavericks. Okay, it's not working. All right, the ticker at the bottom is not working. All right. For some reason, I think the screen has froze or the. All right, Jazz and Mavericks. Jazz and Mavericks. So, let's start with the home team, the Mavericks. If the Mavericks were going to win this game, we just talked about the number 5. Mavericks can get their 5th win in a row. Today is the 66th day of the Gregorian year. The number 5 written out sums to 66. That could be something in favor for the Mavericks to get their 5th win in a row on the 66th day. They would sit on 25 losses for the season with the win as they get their 5th win in a row. And 25 is the square root of 5, of course. 5 times 5 equals 25. Mavericks can sit on 25 losses with a win as they get their 5th win in a row. Mavericks would get their 40th win for the season as Jazz sit on 40 wins for the season, while Jazz get their 24th loss for the season. And if you write out the number 24, if you write out the number 40, it sums to 24. But also the number 5 sums to 24 and 66. So that could be something to go along. Jazz could be 40-24. Mavericks could be 40-25 as they get their 5th win in a row. 5 sums to 66 and 24. Today, the 66th day. They sit on that 25th loss, which has a square root of 5. Jazz would get their 14th road loss to go with, and 14, if you write it out, 14 sums to 40. So they can sit on 40 wins as they get their 14th road loss. 14 sums to 40. Mavericks would get their 40th win for the season. The number 40 written out sums to 24. They would get their 24th loss to go with. And then Mavericks would become 1-2 head-to-head against the Jazz for the season, like 12. And the number 12 written out sums to 24 also. And Mavericks coach, he would get his 223rd win regular season for his career. 223 is the 48th prime number. If you write out the number 48, 48 sums to 47. And it is the 4th day of the 7th month on the Hebrew civil side of the calendar, like 47. So those would be some numbers for the Mavericks to win this game. If Jazz were going to win this game, Jazz could pick up their 110th all-time head-to-head win against the Mavericks. Today is the 66th day of the Gregorian year. 110 written out sums to 66. Jazz would get their 41st win for the season as they sit on 13 road losses, 41 the 13th prime number. They would get their 19th road win to go with, and 19 sums to 41. I guess they're looking for the sweep. If Jazz, well, not the sweep because they're playing 4 games, but Jazz could up the series 3-0, like 30 head-to-head against the Mavericks with the win. The number 30, if you write it out, 30 sums to 37, and that's what today's date is. It's March 7th, written 3/7, like 37. So Jazz could become 3-0, like 30 head-to-head against Mavericks for the season. Mavericks would get their 12th loss at home for the season, 37, the 12th prime number. And, this is the season. It's the 76th season for the NBA, but it's a season that they're celebrating the 75th anniversary. So it could be a reason why Jazz continue to sit on 75 regular season head-to-head losses against Mavericks with the win. I could be doing that 75 tribute. And I didn't really see anything for the 26 per se. Yeah, that's about what I have for right now on this game. Sorry, is it more detailed? I just threw these games together really quickly to record this video. To get it out in time anyways, and time enough for you guys to watch it and just kind of like check it out for yourself. But I wasn't able to spend as much time as I usually do beforehand when I make these videos to get it prepared. But it's okay. We're working through it. So we got the Lakers and the Spurs now. Last game I'm going to look at here. by request. If the Spurs were going to win this game, they can get their 25th win for the season today with 52 date numerology on the Gregorian. 25, 52 are just reflections of each other. Lakers coach, he can get his 85th loss for his career regular season as a coach for Lakers today with 32 date numerology on the Gregorian. 32 sums to 85. Today has 52 date numerology on the Gregorian, like I mentioned. Spurs can get their 25th win for the season, a reflection of 52, but 52 written out sums to 92. And Spurs can get their 92nd regular season head-to-head win against the Lakers to go with as they get that 25th win. Spurs will get their 12th home win for the season on March 7th, 3/7, like 37, the 12th prime number. And, this is the fourth and last head-to-head matchup between these two teams for the season. The Spurs, they can end their 4-game losing streak. Lakers would end their 1-game winning streak. As Spurs up the series, or as Spurs get their 114th all-time head-to-head win against the Lakers. 114 has that 1-4 look to it. Also, LeBron James comes to 114. LeBron James comes to 114 and 66. While LeBron James and the Lakers on the 66th day of the Gregorian could get their 114th all-time head-to-head loss against the Spurs today. And Spurs would get that 25th win. That's how it could go down. If it doesn't go down that way, things that we can point to for Lakers to win this game is Lakers can get their 29th win for the season in their 29th road game, 29 the 10th prime number, as they get their 10th road win to go with. Today does have 52 date numerology on the Gregorian. Lakers can get their second win in a row as Spurs get their 5th loss in a row, 2-5-5-2 like 52. This is the Spurs' 31st home game, the 11th prime number. They can sit on 11 home wins with a loss as Lakers become 3-1, like 31 head-to-head against the Spurs for the season to go with. And Spurs, they would get their 41st loss for the season. 41 sums to 35 as Lakers sit on 35 losses with a win. 10-19. I think that's like I wonder if that has number properties. Yeah, so 10-19 is the 171st prime number, which is the 18th triangular number. I don't know if that generates into anything. Doesn't look like it. I don't see anything. But I guess the last thing would be is 52 date numerology on the Gregorian. 52 sums to 124. Spurs get that 5th loss in a row. Lakers get their 2nd win in a row, like 52. 52 sums to 124. Lakers get their 124th all-time head-to-head win against the Spurs. And that's about what I have for these games. Sorry they weren't as detailed as some of my other videos. I apologize. Like I said, I just kind of put these games together just before hitting the record button. So I didn't have a whole lot of prep time beforehand before hitting the record button. But I did want to make the video regardless. That way you guys have at least something for today. Because if I didn't, then you wouldn't have anything for today. But I did get some sports requests, some NBA requests. And so that's what I did. I wanted to share that with you guys. And yeah, hopefully this helped. As little as it is, hopefully it did help. And I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate the support. I wish you guys the best of luck on all your picks today. And hopefully you win all the money in the world. I'll see you in the next video.